Hello, everyone at VerseFest. Thanks so much for coming out for this excitement of poetry. And a special thanks to the poets and the organizers who have worked so hard to keep this artistic, iterative, and necessary practice of poetry a living and breathing thing in our completely unserious and crumbling nation. I'm really bummed that I can't be there in person, but I hope you'll enjoy what I have to share. Um, I'm recording from my little apartment in Vancouver, um, where I'm recovering from an invasive dental procedure, and I did not want to be on a plane with that uh, coming up. Um, I think the timing of this infection in my mouth is cruelly funny, considering this book is about recovery from anorexia and bulimia, which are two conditions that make it their mission to destroy the enamel of your teeth. I thought I had escaped any major damage, but I've learned that 16 years of eating disorders won't spare a soul, so I'm going to be reading from my new collection, Pitiful, which I believe you can buy. I hope you can buy. And I wanted to warn people, not warn, but just gently, acknowledge that um, I will be speaking about topics pretty graphically about like vomiting and restriction and explicit sexuality, suicide, and child sexual abuse. So please take care of yourself. There's absolutely no pressure to sit and listen to me if this isn't the time and space for that kind of discomfort. Hell, if you need a cigarette, go for a cigarette. I don't care. Uh, I smoke. I know what it's like. Um, I feel like with discomfort, I'm constantly playing the game of, am I just feeling uncomfortable, or am I genuinely taking care of my body and myself in a situation that is triggering, um, like specifically like fight or flight or fawn or freeze, those like four F words. So I think it's an important game for me to win and or lose depending on the day. So please take care of yourselves. I will be reading 6 or 7 poems. My decision will be vibes based and times based. The first poem I'm going to read is called Autobiography. Um, I wrote it with the constraints of needing and feeling like I wanted to write a confessional poem, but with no pronouns in it. I don't actually remember if I've abandoned that constraint in the final hour, so I guess we'll find out together. And I just wanted to say that I dedicated this book to Girls Who Never Remember Their Dreams, which was the title of my very first baby chapbook I made at Douglas College while being taught by Elizabeth Baczynski, who's a marvelous woman and a marvelous poet. Autobiography. This is the beginning of what's certain. Fullness is inevitability. No way out of this pit where the sun shatters into shards tongued between teeth. Pluck that light, first with fingers, then with pain, impatient, room where nausea and radiance hold hands and pray to a living God. Silence. No roof, just a sky, awe or anger. Russell's sign healed over, red knuckles when hunger overtakes the day. To be sick in this way is to reject without recourse. Orbit the sun in a body that is just a body. Partial paralysis, medication, motility, all memory leads here. Mirrored surface slips and shines back a moment. Brown hair tied back, ossuary of birds, red-throated and rotting as dinner collapses into a trash can lined with plastic bags. No apology, sorry, no apology. Suck on finger bones, snapped at the joints, thinning out of control. Saltwater flush, bile and sunlight thrust into mouths of the devout. Worship when the dish is empty. This poem begins where bulimia ends. Or maybe when it started. Differential diagnosis confused by decades. Poverty, colonialism, God. All prisms that will shatter one day, if not now. Desire rejected will return home. Will roost inside home, that bright thing, curved beak that indicates eagle and not raven. Eat the flesh raw. This next poem is called Notes on Roman Roy, who is a character from the show Succession, which you should watch. I had a great grand old time with it. It's one of my favorite shows. And he's one of my favorite little guys. My little perv guy. Okay, Notes on Roman Roy. Roman asks Tabitha to play dead when they fuck. Still can't get it up. Should have asked to be the corpse instead. He only comes from behind a screen or door. Begs to be held by the older woman who watched him grow up, groomed the way a foal is, beaten, ridden. He flirts with a fascist in a bathroom, and violence is a language spoken in rooms I binged through. No need, just want, glass sharpening as it falls and falls to the ground. Kieran Culkin says in an interview that Roman performs masculinity, orders steak, can only stomach green grapes at table, worried about his weight. I watch Roman masturbate. He's on top of the world, but consumed by the preparation and cleanup afterward. Closed blinds in his office, and Kleenex on the windowsill. His darting eyes turn into my shame. Slap from Roman's father, culled from my molars. Roman can't get it up without tonguing a bloody gap, a hole he can penetrate without thought. I objectify him. Imagine him comforted by this pleasure in debasement. It's the only luxury I can afford. This poem is called Athabasca, with lyrics from Branded Man by Merle Haggard. Athabasca. My parents sang Merle Haggard songs in Jasper National Park. Be proud of who I am. We have a letter from CFS in the glove compartment. It just repeats, grass or reeds here or there, grass or reeds here or there, grass or reeds here or there. A glacier recedes by kilometers, and my dad smokes in the car. The tour guide is cheerful about hypothermia and says in 20 years the ice will all have melted away. I'm bored. Blue porta potty antiseptic splashes my face after my stepmom makes me eat a chocolate chip muffin at the Columbia ice fields. I'm trapped by July. Glacial melt is kilometers and kilometers deep. What is lost in water? Everyone says I have such a long memory. Ketosis, breath like fruit, wine dark. I always lose the weight and gain it all back again. I don't look like myself in glacial lakes. They're so hungry. So clear you can see skeletons, dead elk sleeping at the bottom. Grass or reeds here or there. Secrets won't go untold. I'm so bored. Elegy for Daughter. I was the daughter of St. Peter's Deniver Church, whose wooden floors never flooded. Homeostasis as aphids crawl on my pale belly in the graveyard. Beetles fuck my pores, my mouth, stoke my cunt with damp foliage, a bitch shivering alone. Wet snap of cedar, sting of women with English names planted under stones. Cecilia Kipling, Virginia Bird, Good names, all better than mine. I watch the sun without blinking. Brown blossoms squirm in heat, and I can't see my reflection in the river. Collapse into clay, and I know we all come from water. No real control. I need more than anyone can give me. Insects love me when I'm putrid sweet, ill-sorted, and mishandled as the day. Is church a good place to find me? My hands tied full of gifts I wrapped for God and Chief Pegwis. Why am I fuckable in the dress I wore to get saved again and again on Sunday mornings? Will my cunt wash out pink and red and raw in the red? Split me open, tributary. Prairie never rises to fuck the sky back. The sun comes and leaves. Comes and leaves. Leaves me spoiled. With so many worms I look alive. Stolen is a state, and I will personify it. Stolen runs quick white hands through my hair. I've stolen a glance or two at the past when the moment allows for it. Moments are rose-colored, and I'm told I was conquered, not stolen. Steal a Canadian flag and braid it into my hair. Some advice. Sage has to be collected a certain way, and it definitely doesn't work if it's stolen. I hoard sage and sweetgrass and cedar. Steal opportunities to use medicines. The medicines don't work. Without Google, name something the British Empire has not stolen. It is what it is. My real name was stolen. My name came to my father in the dream, the blue dark. An unknown source, it was stolen from the black riverbed. I can't swim. I can't say I've ever thought to fight back against the current. I can't say I've ever thought to stand up for myself. Destroy, conquer, replace. Stolen is a word I walk behind. Stolen is faster than I am. I lose myself, and there's no one to blame except stolen. I think this will be my last poem. It's a tiny long poem. Tiny long poem. It's after Justin Philip Reed, one of my favorite poets. It's called Witness to the Man I Am Not. In which all this red is on my hands. The northern boils. Cops, cardiac arrest, some bitches in heat revived by bad moon rising on karaoke. Silence comes in magnitudes of denim in the bathroom. Black carpets on check day, bartender spills bleach and Lysol on the floor after hours, and lets it sit there until it warps. Rorschach of semen, come. Fingers are phallic, and yet I've seen them used to build houses, bookshelves, green and orange wrought iron hummingbirds. I've seen men's hands in coffins, folded nicely, touched without permission. In which all this red is on my hands. I clear-cut skyscrapers, white sky. Who can leave without permission? My father. Pink morning, curtains closed like God. A door is a portal into a cop car. An ambulance transforms into a baby and lies down to sleep in my father's guitar case. Gentle, gentle. Sing a song from 10,000 years ago. Drink hooch brewed in a blue rain barrel, and microplastics bind to my gut bacteria. I reach out for the man who looks most like myself. Cumulonimbus, hail, thunder, squall. In which all this red is on my hands. Who the fuck are you? Rhetorical. Step over human shit near the Yale Hotel. My cuckoo's been dead for years, but this is still home. I wasn't a virgin for long, 5, maybe 6 years. The Virgin watches me sleep before CFS collects what's due. Father, he never tells the truth. 25, suicide hugs drunk from the side. Falls more than leans into me. I catch him every time. Waterloo, I was defeated. You won the war. Waterloo, promised to love you forevermore. Waterloo, couldn't escape if I wanted to. Waterloo, knowing my fate is to be with you. In which all this red is on my hands. Poor approximation. Cold Budweiser. Pour me a bruise on my thigh, the same hands carving. Thank you.